Pretty Little Liars, by Sarah Sherpad. How it all started. Imagine it's a couple of years ago, the summer between 7th and 8th grade. You're tan from lying out next to your rock-lined pool. You've got on your new juicy sweats, remember when everybody wore those? And your mind's on your crush, the boy who goes to that other prep school whose name we won't mention and who folds jeans at Abercrombie in the mall. You're eating your Cocoa Krispies just how you like 'em, doused in skim milk, and you see this girl's face on the side of the milk carton. Missing. She's cute, probably cuter than you, and has a feisty look in her eyes. You think, H&M, maybe she likes soggy Cocoa Krispies too. And you bet she'd think Abercrombie boy was a hottie as well. You wonder how someone so much like you went missing. You thought only girls who entered beauty pageants ended up on the sides of milk cartons. Well, think again. Ari Montgomery burrowed her face in her best friend Alison I. Laurentice's lawn. Delicious, she murmured. Are you smelling the grass? Emily Fields called from behind her, pushing the door of her mom's Volvo wagon closed with her long, freckly arm. It smells good. Aria brushed away her pink-striped hair and breath in the warm early evening air. Like summer. Emily waved bye to her mom and pulled up the block jeans that were hanging on her skinny hips. Emily had been a competitive swimmer since Tadpole League, and even though she looked great in a Speedo, she never wore anything tight or remotely cute like the rest of the girls in her 7th grade class. That was because Emily's parents insisted that one built characters from the inside out. Although Emily was pretty certain that being forced to hide her Irish Girls Do It Better baby D at the back of her underwear drawer wasn't exactly character enhancing. You guys. Alison pirouetted through the front yard. Her hair was bunched up in a messy ponytail, and she was still wearing her rolled-up field hockey kilt from the team's end-of-the-year party that afternoon. Alison was the only 7th grader to make the JV team and got rides home with the older Rosewood Day School girls, who blasted Jay-Z from their Cherokees and sprayed Alison with perfume before dropping her off so that she wouldn't smell like the cigarettes they'd all been smoking. What am I missing? Called Spencer Hastings, sliding through a gap in Arlie's hedges to join the others. Spencer lived next door. She flipped her long, sleek dark blonde ponytail over her shoulder and took a swig from her purple Nalgene bottle. Spencer hadn't made the JV cut with Arlie in the fall, and had to play on the 7th grade team. She'd been on a year-long field hockey binge to perfect her game, and the girls knew she'd been practicing dribbling in the backyard before they arrived. Spencer hated when anyone was better at anything than she was. Especially Alison. Wait for me. They turned to see Hannah Marin climbing out of her mom's Mercedes. She stumbled over her tote bag and waved her chubby arms wildly. Ever since Hannah's parents had gotten a divorce last year, she'd been steadily putting on weight and outgrowing her old clothes. Even though Arlie rolled her eyes, the rest of the girls pretended not to know this. That's just what best friends do. Alison, Aria, Spencer, Emily, and Hannah bonded last year when their parents volunteered them to work Saturday afternoons at Rosewood Day School's charity drive. Well, all except for Spencer, who volunteered herself. Whether or not Alison knew about the other four, the four knew about Alison. She was perfect. Beautiful, witty, smart, popular. Boys wanted to kiss Alison, and girls, even older ones, wanted to be her. So the first time Arlie laughed at one of Aria's jokes, asked Emily the question about swimming, told Hannah her shirt was adorable, or commented that Spencer's penmanship was way neater than her own, they couldn't help but be, dazzled. Before Arlie, the girls had felt like pleated, high-waisted mom jeans, awkward and noticeable for all the wrong reasons, but then Arlie made them feel like the most perfect-fitting Stella McCartney piece that no one could afford. Now, more than a year later, on the last day of 7th grade, they weren't just best friends, they were the girls of Rosewood Day. A lot had happened to make it that way. Every sleepover they had, every field trip, had been a new adventure. Even homeroom had been memorable when they were together. Reading a steamy note from the varsity crew captain to his math tutor over the PA system was now a Rosewood Day legend. But there were other things they all wanted to forget. And there was one secret they couldn't even bear to talk about. Charlie said that secrets were what bonded their five-way best friendship together for eternity. If that was true, they were going to be friends for life. I'm so glad this day is over, Allison moaned before gently pushing Spencer back through the gap in the hedges. Your barn. I'm so glad 7th grade is over, Aria said as she, Emily, and Hannah followed Allison and Spencer toward the renovated barn-turned-guest house where Spencer's older sister, Melissa, had lived for her junior and senior years of high school. Fortunately, she'd just graduated and was headed to prom this summer, so it was all theirs for the night. Suddenly they heard a very squeaky voice. Allison. Hey, Allison. Hey, Spencer. Allison turned to the street. Not it, she whispered. Not it, Spencer, Emily, and Aria quickly followed. Hannah frowned. Ship. It was this game Arlie had stolen from her brother, Jason, who was a senior at Rosewood Day. Jason and his friends played it at interprep school field parties when scoping out girls. Being the last to call out Not it meant you had to entertain the ugly girl for the night while your friends got to hook up with her hot friends, meaning, essentially, that you were as lame and unattractive as she was. In Arlie's version, the girls called Not it whenever there was anyone ugly, uncool, or unfortunate near them. This time, Not it was for Mona Vanderwile, the door from down the street whose favorite pastime was trying to befriend Spencer and Allison and her two freaky friends, Chauncey Bledsoe and Fight Templeton. Chauncey was the girl who'd hacked into the school's computer system and then told the principal how to better secure it, and Fight Templeton went everywhere with a yo-yo. Enough said. The three stared at the girls from the middle of the quiet, suburban road. Mona was perched on her razor scooter, Chauncey was on a black mountain bike, and Fight was on foot with her yo-yo, of course. You guys want to come over and watch Fear Factor? Mona called. Sorry, Allison simpered. We're kind of busy. Chauncey frowned. Don't you want to see when they eat the bugs? Gross, Spencer whispered to Aria, who then started pretending to eat invisible lice off Hannah's scalp like a monkey. Yeah, I wish we could. Allison tilted her head. We've planned this sleepover for a while now. But maybe next time. Mona looked at the sidewalk. Yeah, okay. See ya. Allison turned around, rolling her eyes, and the other girls did the same. They crossed through Spencer's back gate. To their left was Arlie's neighboring backyard, where her parents were building a 20-seat gazebo for their lavish outdoor picnics. Thank God the workers aren't here, Arlie said, glancing at a yellow bulldozer. Emily stiffened. Have they been saying stuff to you again? Easy there, killer, Allison said. The others giggled. Sometimes they called Emily Killer, as in Arlie's personal pit bull. Emily used to find it funny, too, but lately she wasn't laughing along. The barn was just ahead. It was small and cozy and had a big window that looked out on Spencer's large, rambling farm, which had its very own windmill. Here in Rosewood, Pennsylvania, a little suburb about 20 miles from Philadelphia, you were more likely to live in a 25-room farmhouse with a mosaic-tiled pool and hot tub, like Spencer's house, than in the prefab MC mansion. Rosewood smelled like lilacs and mown grass in the summer and clean snow and wood stoves in the winter. It was full of lush, tall pines, acres of rustic family-run farms, and the cutest foxes and bunnies. It had fabulous shopping and colonial estates and parks for birthday, graduation, and just cause to feel like it fates. And Rosewood boys were gorgeous in that glowing, healthy, just stepped out of an Abercrombie catalog way. This was Philadelphia's main line. It was full of old, noble bloodlines, older money, and practically ancient scandals. As they reached the barn, the girls heard giggles coming from inside. Someone squealed. I said, stop it. Oh God, Spencer moaned. What is she doing here? As Spencer peeked through the keyhole, she could see Melissa, her prim and proper, excellent at everything older sister, and Ian Thomas, her tasty boyfriend, wrestling on the couch. Spencer kicked at the door with the heel of her shoe, forcing it open. The barn smelled like moss and slightly burned popcorn. Melissa turned around. What the food? She asked. Then she noticed the others and smiled. Oh, hey guys. The girls eyed Spencer. She constantly complained that Melissa was a venomous super bitch, so they were always taken aback when Melissa seemed friendly and sweet. Ian stood up, stretched, and grinned at Spencer. Hey. Hi, Ian, Spencer replied in a much brighter voice. I didn't know you were here. Yeah, you did. Ian smiled flirtatiously. You were spying on us. Melissa readjusted her long blonde hair and black silk headband, staring at her sister. So, what's up? She asked, a little accusingly. It's just, I didn't mean to barge in, Spencer sputtered. But we were supposed to have this place tonight. Ian playfully hit Spencer on the arm. I was just messing with you, he teased. A patch of red crept up her neck. Ian had messy blonde hair, sleepy-looking hazelnut-colored eyes, and totally growth-worthy stomach muscles. Wow, Charlie said in a loud voice. All heads turned to her. Melissa, you and Ian make the cutest couple. I've never told you, but I've always thought it. Don't you agree, Spence? Spencer blinked. She said quietly. Melissa stared at Charlie for a second, perplexed, and then turned back to Ian. Can I talk to you outside? Ian downed his Corona as the girls watched. They only ever drank super secretively from the bottles in their parents' liquor cabinets. He set the empty bottle down and offered them a parting grin as he followed Melissa outside. Adieu, ladies. He winked before closing the door behind him. Allison dusted her hands together. Another problem solved by Charlie D. Are you going to thank me now, Spence? Spencer didn't answer. She was busy looking out the barn's front window. Lightning bugs had begun to light up the purplish sky. Hannah walked over to the abandoned popcorn bowl and took a big handful. Ian's so hot. He's, like, hotter than Sean. Sean Ackard was one of the cutest guys in their grade and the subject of Hannah's constant fantasies. You know what I heard? Charlie asked, flopping down on the couch. Sean really likes girls who have good appetites? Hannah brightened. Really? No. Allison snorted. Hannah slowly dropped the handful of popcorn back into the bowl. So, girls, Charlie said. I know the perfect thing we can do. I hope we're not streaking again. Emily giggled. They'd done that a month earlier in the freezing frickin' cold, and although Hannah had refused to strip down to less than her undershirt and day-of-the-week panties, the rest of them had run through a nearby barren cornfield without lick on. You loved that a little too much, Charlie murmured. The smile faded from Emily's lips. But no, I was leaving this for the last day of school. I learned how to hypnotize people. Hypnotize? Spencer repeated. Matt's sister taught me, Charlie answered, looking at the framed photos of Melissa and Ian on the mantel. Her boyfriend of the week, Matt, had the same sandy-colored hair as Ian. How do you do it? Hannah asked. Sorry, she swore me to secrecy, Charlie said, turning back around. You want to see if it works? Aria frowned, taking a seat on a lavender floor pillow. I don't know, why not? Charlie's eyes flickered to a stuffed pig puppet that was peeking out of Aria's purple sweater knit tote bag. Aria was always carrying around weird things, stuffed animals, random pages torn out of old novels, postcards of places she'd never visited. Doesn't hypnosis make you say stuff you don't want to say? Aria asked. Is there something you can't tell us? Charlie responded. And why do you still bring that pig puppet everywhere? She pointed at it. Aria shrugged and pulled the stuffed pig out of her bag. My dad got me pig Shania in Germany. She advises me on my love life. She stuck her hand into the puppet. You're shoving your hand up its butt. Charlie squealed and Emily started to giggle. Besides, why do you want to carry around something your dad gave you? It's not funny, Aria snapped, whipping her head around to face Emily. Everyone was quiet for a few seconds, and the girls looked blankly at one another. This had been happening a lot lately. Someone, usually Barley, mentioned something, and someone else got upset, but everyone was too shy to ask what in the world was going on. Spencer broke the silence. Being hypnotized, does sound sort of sketch. You don't know anything about it, Allison said quickly. Come on. I could do it to you all at once. Spencer picked at the waistband of her skirt. Emily blew air through her teeth. Aria and Hannah exchanged a look. Charlie was always coming up with stuff for them to try. Last summer, it was smoking dandelion seeds to see if they'd hallucinate, and this past fall they'd gone swimming in Peck's Pond, even though the dead body was once discovered there. But the thing was, they often didn't want to do the things